is Omar Kura and you're watching Mid-East Realities. I'm standing right in front of DuPont Circle here in Washington, D.C. A demonstration will be taking place to protest the potential U.S. bombing of Iraq. This demonstration is an expression of American democracy in action. How effectual this demonstration will be remains to be seen.
Well, I guess we should have said
Our next speaker will be Rick Tingling Clemens, who is with the People's Tribune, the Statehood Party Central Committee, and Fight for the Life of the City. Let's hear for him now!
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's have no more war in the Middle East. 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 All right. Let's not be fooled, my friends. In the beginning, it was a fight over oil and money and profit. That aim and that goal has not ceased. In the meantime, they're going to bomb and kill more women and children and men of Iraqi or of Islamic nation. This country is hell-bent on its control of the market. This country's whole economy is based on markets. And the oil market is one of them. So if there is any war, or if there has ever been any war, it was over land, profits, and money.
As a woman from the Middle East who is tired of having her brothers and sisters killed in the name of the American people.
One Iraqi child dies every 10 minutes because of the most deadly weapons of mass destruction, the sanctions imposed on the people of Iraq by the United States. Today, as we gather here, the United States is amassing an awesome arsenal of deadly weapons. Aircraft carriers are looming in the Gulf once again. 7 years ago, we were told that Operation Desert Storm would bring about a new world order where peace and democracy would prevail. Today, this world order is nothing but a cruel hoax on the people of Iraq. Saddam Hussein has outlasted Bush, Thatcher, and Mitterrand. While their terms are blips in history, Saddam remains steadfast in his brutal dictatorship. And now, 7 years later, with a new cast of characters, we stand at a crossroads in history once again. To continue the double standards and broken promises, or to seek a true and just peace. We are told there is a clear strategy and a clear mission. We are told that the sanctions imposed on the Iraqi people are working. We are told that our bombs have got smarter. But let us not be doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. Let us send a clear message to our leaders. We will not allow the blood of another Iraqi child to be spilled for the sake of oil. Yeah! Thank you.
Hands off Iraq! 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 Hands off! Hands off Iraq! Hands off Iraq!
I am here as a Kurdish woman, born of Kurdish parents in a Kurdish village in Iran, in a Kurdish town, in fact. My brothers and sisters were attacked by Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons. My brothers and Kurdish friends were killed in Halabja, in a village in Iraq, when the United States government were supporting Iraq and Saddam Hussein, and the Germans were providing the chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein to kill my Kurdish brothers and sisters. But I say no to the war, and I say do not bomb the people of Iraq in the name of attacking Saddam Hussein.
I'm an Iraqi American, and I have family back in Iraq. I'm so afraid to call my family. That's when I get a chance to get through, because every time I call them, they need medicine that I can't give them. I have a cousin who's 24 years old who is dying because he has so malnutrition and doesn't have immunity in his body. I need a doctor to write me a prescription, and I can't find a doctor who's going to write a prescription for a patient who's not here. And if I ever get this medicine, which is an antibody to boost his immune system, I need to fly it on ice. We don't have any direct mail between here and Iraq. So how am I going to take it on ice there? He needs it continuously. This is just one member. Imagine how Brian said in Ohio that we give the Iraqis medicine. That's a lie. That's a big lie.
To be killed in the war of the rich man. I'm here speaking for all the mothers whose sons are turned into mercenaries for killing children and women in the other side of the world.
As a professor of peace and conflict resolution, as a peace activist, as someone who has dual citizenship both in Israel and in the United States. The town meeting staged by CNN in Ohio this week was not a town meeting. This is our opportunity to talk live. We will talk back live to the media, to the American people, to President Clinton. As a native Israeli, and as someone with a dual citizenship both here and in Israel, I would like to underscore some of the previous comments about double standards. Double standards about weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, and double standards about weapons of mass destruction worldwide. As the speaker pointed out earlier, the only country that has used weapons of mass destruction against civilians is this country. And the only country that has the capacity to use them in the Middle East is Israel. And Israeli defense minister warned that Israel may use it. You do not convince people that you care for them by dropping bombs. President Clinton, you've got to plan to take responsibility for your own actions. It is not too late to do so. Some in this country may forgive you for not having done so in your personal life, but we will not forgive you if you don't act patiently in this case. You cannot do this in our name. Finally, I want to speak as an activist and say something about us. We made a statement today. Our friends made a statement in Ohio and across the country. We cannot let this momentum die. As the bombing draws closer, if we cannot prevent it, it will become more and more difficult to voice dissent. We should commit ourselves to at least spend 1 hour a day from today on to talk to friends and neighbors, to talk to co-workers, to write letters to the editor, to intervene in discussions on the internet, to call, to make our dissent heard. We have to let people know that we are not behind our president. We have to let people in the Middle East know that we stand with them. We have to make it clear that voicing dissent against the policies carried in our name does not mean that we support Saddam Hussein. And we have the privilege and the responsibility to do so. Please support the coalition that was just created and don't go home and let President Clinton tell you that he has the support of the American people. Let the sanctions go! 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 Let the sanctions go!
I'm here today speaking as an American woman, as an American citizen whose tax money is diverted into building $2 billion V-2 bombers to pour bombs on the head of the women and children and innocent men in Iraq.
I returned from Iraq exactly a month ago. I was on the 10th delegation of Voices in the Wilderness, a Chicago organization whose sole purpose is to advocate for the lift of sanctions against Iraq. We saw suffering children, starving people, people trying to live on $2 or $3 a month, cancer patients in hospitals who are lucky to get one cancer drug when it takes a very complicated regimen. They don't even have pain medicine for when they get near death. We saw children, we saw people in the internally displaced person shelters up in Iraqi Kurdistan living in unbearably awful conditions because 22 different factions are struggling for control of Kurdistan. And Turkey, Iran, and Syria are pouring money in to continue that fighting. The Turkish money is U.S. money. Turkey has invaded Iraq. Turkey has poured money into the area. That's what Saddam is supposed to be such a monster for doing. What a double standard. This banner I'm holding, and which I'm going to carry in a few minutes, says in Arabic, "Children are dying, hear them crying, lift the sanctions." I am very disturbed to report that the first use of this banner was on a peace delegation in 1991. We used this banner in front of the U.S. Embassy in Amman, Jordan for a 2-day fast and vigil before we went into Iraq. And it's been 7 years since then. My life went on and I stopped worrying about the Iraqis, so I know the rest of the populace of this country who never hears about the suffering, only hears about the sins of Saddam Hussein, No wonder we haven't paid attention to the suffering. We have to learn not to hate. I have been so frustrated in the few speaking engagements I have done the last few weeks since I've gotten back at the virulent remarks I've heard about Iraqi people. There is so much hatred in this country. We are so manipulable. And we've got to unlearn that. It's absolutely atrocious. There are weapons of mass destruction all over the world. The one working in Iraq right now is the fact that they can't treat their water. So every time they take a drink of water, they are being attacked with a chemical weapon, with a biological weapon. That's what's happening in Iraq right now. It is the weapon of mass destruction which has killed over 1 million people. It is the height of hypocrisy for our government to spout about weapons of mass destruction when we have thousands and thousands of them, and so do many other people. The rest of the Middle East region has had U.S. weapons from U.S. arms merchants poured in there since 1991. Among other things, the bombing in 91 was an arms show. The people of Iraq are human beings. Please, we have got to treat them like that. Violence begets violence. If we keep killing people, it will never end. Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now!
Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now! Stop the hypocrisy now!
I'm here today as a daughter of a mother who called me in that horrible night in 1991 from across the world. After being subjected to 8 years of missile attacks by the Iraq, she called me crying and said, do something for the women and children of Iraq. I know what it means to be bombed.
So-called American democracy. And this Iraq war is the biggest lie to come around in a long time. Okay? 1.5 million people, 1.5 million people have died since the last turkey shoot. This is not a war. We shouldn't be calling it a war. It's a turkey shoot.
It's a U.S. invasion.
It's a U.S. invasion. Thank you, sister.
And I'm here as a woman of the war who is raped during the war by the mercenaries of the war. So I say no to the war. I do not want to see any other woman raped, any other child killed. I don't want to see infants die because there is no medicine, there is no food. I'm here speaking as an American woman who is condemned for all the ills of the society because I fight for the rights of me and my daughter to be a free woman. I'm here as an American woman who is against the war and said, spend my tax money on welfare for the people of this country.
I'm Mark Brzezinski, your host for this weekly program, Mideast Realities, and thank you for watching. If you too are concerned about the situation in today's Middle East and about U.S. policies toward that crucial region of the world, and if you'd like to meet like-minded persons, why don't you come to one of our weekly social meetings? I'll be there, of course. Just give us a call for details.